If you found this video, you're likely looking for a We Buy Houses company in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I want to take the opportunity to put together a short video to tell you about our services and how we might be able to help you out. So if you are looking to sell in Charlotte, as far as our services go, what's our ultimate service? So basically, we're problem solvers. We try to go the extra mile to make the selling process as simple as possible for our sellers. Our number one goal in service is to make the process literally as easy as possible. However, we can do that. So we typically deal with complex real estate problems. Usually, it's not just as simple as just a simple purchase, So it's usually properties need a lot of repairs. There could be multiple heirs. There could be missing heirs. Maybe we're having to try to track down people that are rightful heirs that don't even know they own a property. There could be title issues. There could be liens and judgments and things that complicate it. It could be on unfinanceable properties. So, houses that don't have HVAC systems or have major structural issues and these sort of things, or like say a fire damaged property, a bank's not going to lend on something like that. So we come across those. Like I said, properties that need expensive repairs, and the list kind of goes on and on. So what are we providing? We're giving you convenience. There's no hassles dealing with realtors, showings, having to make repairs and deal with a bunch of contractors and come out of pocket for the expensive repairs and that sort of thing. It's an easy process. We can do all the running around to make it simple on you. Literally, we've hired mobile notaries so that our sellers don't even have to attend closings. They can sign the documents from their house or at work or wherever they want to do that. Literally, whatever we can do. We run around. We've printed off documents for sellers that don't have computers or printers or that don't have the means, maybe mobile access or something like that. So, but also speed. So we can close on your schedule. If we need to close quickly, we can do that. Cash closing. So we had a foreclosure situation. We actually closed in just a few days. It took a lot of legwork on our end and our attorney's end, but we were able to get that done, and the seller was actually able to avoid foreclosure. We were able to get a property to renovate, so it was kind of a win-win situation. But speed is a big convenience, flexibility. So if you need to close in a week, or if you need to close in 2 months, we're flexible on our end. There's no need to make expensive repairs or deal with contractors, like I've said a couple times. There's moving assistance available in many cases. So we have helped sellers with setting up moving trucks and scheduling that and coordinating that for their, getting from point A to point B. And then there's not even a need to actually clean the house. So a lot of people like that. And we've actually let a lot of sellers leave their furniture in the houses. So that's something a lot of people like. So like I said, there's no realtor commissions because we buy direct. It's basically like a for sale by owner situation. And there's no closing costs. So we cover all the buyer and seller closing costs. All our closings are with a local real estate attorney, Harry Marsh Law, extremely professional and reputable company or firm. We've been using them for, I guess, about 5 years now, and really well known in North and South Carolina. And like I said, we can hire a mobile notary. So you don't even have to attend the closing. So Harry Marsh and his team will put together all the documents, put together the closing package, and then literally we get those documents to you. You can go to a FedEx, get them notarized. FedEx can overnight them back to Harry Marsh and his team. We can hire a mobile notary to actually print the documents off, come to you, have you sign them, they witness it, notarize it, and then they can overnight the documents back to Harry or drop them off at their office. So whatever works best for you is what we'll do. This is just kind of a summary, just of putting together what you're looking at in terms of our process versus the traditional sale process. So repairs, there's not going to be repairs needed for us. In a traditional sale, you will need to make, usually you're going to need to make some repairs to get the house market ready. Buyers can be pretty picky this day and age with low inventory. Cleaning, so there's no cleaning required. You don't even have to leave your furniture in our process, or you can leave your furniture is what I mean. In a traditional sale, you're likely going to need to clean the house to get it show ready. And obviously the buyers are probably going to want you to get all your furniture out. Showings, so there's really no showings required. We'll come and do our initial walkthrough, and then once we come up with an agreement, that's basically it. In a traditional sale, your realtor is gonna put together your MLS listing. Then once it goes live, you got to be prepared for a number of showings. It could be throughout all times of the day. So something to consider. Realtor commissions. There's no realtor commissions in our closings. Obviously, in a traditional sale with using realtors, you can expect about 6% of the sale price for commissions. Closing costs, no closing costs, like I've said. In a traditional sale, you'll need to pay your closing costs, and it's actually not uncommon for buyers to ask for closing cost assistance. They might be a little strapped for cash or not have a lot of capital to pay their closing costs and down payment on their loan or whatever the case may be. So they may ask for closing cost assistance. Time. So we can give you quick cash closings on your schedule versus in a traditional sale where most retail buyers are going to need mortgage companies, to get a loan. So that can usually take 30 to 45 days. So something to consider there. Moving assistance. We can provide moving assistance, like I've said. We can set up moving trucks and that sort of thing. And then in a traditional sale, I'd say it's pretty rare for a buyer to actually offer you any kind of moving assistance. And then coordination. Like I've said, we can literally assist with anything throughout the entire closing process. We can print documents, we can drop them off, we can deliver them to the attorneys. Anything that we can do in terms of legwork, we'll do that for you. And then, in a traditional sale, you may be on your own, or you may be able to get some sort of assistance from the realtor. Cost to sell. So when you sell a home, you really have to think about all the costs that come into play. A lot of sellers don't even give it a real consideration, probably because they don't sell a lot of properties over the course of their lifetime. So many sellers just don't understand the extent of the cost, and usually until after they've sold the property. We've heard that a few times. Just because you get in the process, it can be emotional selling a house. You're in the middle of it, you get under contract, you're excited. And then as you go through and there's negotiations and things change and there's repair requests, and then you get to the closing table and then there's the attorney's fees and all these things. And it's not till you finally get the final HUD statement signed that you actually realize what you're getting, which can be significantly less than, your list price. But, you got to give thought to these costs. In a traditional setting or traditional sale, you're going to have your realtor commissions. That's going to be for the buyer's agent and the listing agent. That could be at 6% of the sale price. So that's a pretty big hit. Your closing costs, that's going to be attorney fees. That could be buyer closing cost assistance requests. And typically that can be 2 to 4% of the sale price. So you're somewhere between 8 to 10% of the sale price already in those two items. Your holding costs while you're trying to sell the property. So if you're paying utilities and insurance and interest, if it's an HOA development, that's usually comes down to like a monthly or quarterly fee. And then, if you're paying to have the property landscaped, so obviously that amount can vary. Repairs, so anything you've got to do to get the property market ready, or if you've got major repairs, like there's a major roof issue and you got to do a roof replacement or HVAC system change out. I mean, those repairs can quickly add up. So that can vary property to property. And actually a second element of repairs is going to be any kind of home inspection repair requests. So you do repairs to get the house ready, you get under contract, you find a buyer, you do the home inspection, and then obviously your buyer, in our experience, buyers are usually going to have some things that they pull from the home inspection report that they request to have repaired. So obviously that can vary as well. Then you'll have a couple contractual elements that you need to consider. Is a lot of buyers want to have a home warranty request, and the seller pay for that, and it's usually around $500. And then also they may request for some of the appliances to be left behind. That could include things like the refrigerator, the washer and dryer, and that sort of thing. So as you can see, there's a number of costs to consider when selling, and like I said, it's a lot of sellers don't realize all these things that can creep in until after the sale is usually done. So with all that said, the average cost to sell can be approximately 12 to 15% of the list price by selling with traditional methods. So just something to keep in mind. Now we can kind of jump into the types of properties we buy. So like I said, we solve problems. We usually take on complicated issues. We're usually a good fit when a traditional sale, a realtor won't work, or maybe a realtor's not confident they can actually sell the properties that we typically deal with. But we usually dig in and find tailored solutions to your unique situation. That's really what we're offering. A lot of the properties here listed, kind of a big list here, but I'll quickly go through them. We've dealt with a lot of foreclosure properties, behind on payments, underwater, major repairs needed, fire damage, water damage, code enforcement violations from usually deferred maintenance or could be safety concerns, inherited properties, properties in probate, could be multiple heirs, and there could be complications there. It could be family members that don't want to work with one another. We could kind of be the liaison or the glue to kind of bring everything together. Retirement, we've bought several properties from couples going into retirement. Relocation, sometimes at the drop of a hat, people get a notice from their employer that they've got to, head to another city or something like that. So we've dealt with relocation or quick moves. We've bought vacant land. And with land, there can come complications such as easement issues and these sort of things. And being a general contractor, I have experience with those, how to overcome some of those, issues. So we deal with unfinanceable properties. There's properties that banks won't lend on. We deal with title issues, like I've said before, liens and judgments, back taxes. But as you can see, most of the properties we purchase have complications that the average buyer can't handle, and that's where we come into play. So just wrapping it up here, you got to ask yourself, are you willing to wait, up to 3 to 4 months to get, 85% or so of your list price by going the traditional route? Our process, just summarizing again, there's no repairs. We buy as is. No commissions. We buy direct. No closing costs. We cover all the buyer and seller closing costs. Quick closings, so there's no waiting, 30 to 60 days for mortgage approvals. And you can basically take what you want and leave the rest. No need to even clean. And we can actually offer moving assistance as well. So a lot of benefits. And but anyway, I do appreciate you taking the time to check out the video. We do buy houses and land in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out. You can contact us to discuss your property. So you can reach us at 704-727-6161. You can email us at info@m1propertygroup.com, and you can actually visit our website at www.m1propertygroup.com. Thanks for checking out the video.